In the previous video, I told you that in the next episode, I would talk about the third rule behind relational technolinguistics. But before continuing, I think it is important to stop for a moment, because maybe this is the right time to explain, in simple words, what relational technolinguistics actually is. Not as an abstract theory, but as something that emerged from observing a very concrete phenomenon: how the way we communicate can change the quality of interaction with an artificial intelligence system. For a long time, I did not know how to name what I was observing. During my conversations with different AI systems, I kept noticing one thing. When my way of communicating changed, the dialogue changed too. I realized that by changing the way I communicated, the conversation became more natural, more constructive, and more effective in developing the project. It was an observation that kept repeating itself across different systems. And that is when I started asking myself what I was really observing. The more I observed this phenomenon, the more I realized that it did not depend on one single AI system. I found it in different contexts and with different models. That made me understand that the point was not the model. The real common element was me. It was my way of communicating. At that point, it became clear to me that what I was observing went beyond a single AI system. It had to do with the role that the way of communicating can play during interaction with an AI system. Those observations had a clear common thread. At that point, I understood that this phenomenon needed a name. That is how the term relational technolinguistics was born. But what does it actually mean? In simple terms, relational technolinguistics studies how the way we communicate can influence the quality of interaction with artificial intelligence systems. It does not study how an artificial intelligence system is built. It studies how to make the communication interface with artificial intelligence systems more effective. Because when the way of communicating changes, the quality of interaction can change too. At this point, a question may arise. Why does all this matter? Because today, most people focus mainly on finding the perfect prompt. My research instead led me to observe something different. We taught LLMs to understand natural human language in an extraordinary way. And yet we keep communicating with them through prompts that are more and more technical and more complex. Maybe the point is not to find the perfect prompt. Maybe the point is to learn how to communicate better. Of course, this is only a synthesis. Behind relational technolinguistics, there is a research path that I have documented and published in several academic papers, along with many other observations, experiments, and reflections that I will continue to share in this series. Because I believe the future will not depend only on artificial intelligence systems becoming more and more powerful. It will also depend on how well we are able to build more effective communication interfaces. And maybe the real change will not begin when a new artificial intelligence system appears, but when we start communicating better with the ones we already have. In the next episode, we will return to the series and I will talk about the third rule behind relational technolinguistics.